Today we're drinking Kiwi Apricot, also known as Aprikiwi Mead. Welcome to the tasting room, where we drink adult beverages
and judge them.
I'm Brian.
I'm Derica.
And this is our Kiwi Apricot Mead that was supposed to be green.
Yep, it's not.
It used to be green. Now, it is possible, I'm just going to say it, that there was some oxidation happening. That's possible. I'm not going to say that it didn't. It's also possible that as it aged, the green, whatever color, just fell out of it. Because I think that was kind of artificial anyway.
Kind of got like a interference green tinge, if you knew what was there. Now, some of you might realize we're drinking out of completely different vessels. And the reason being is that I felt this vessel...
And I don't disagree with her.
Embodied what Aprikiwi should look like being served.
Like a martini.
Yeah.
It kind of does feel that way.
We have martini glasses, but they're like these.
She was going to have me use this one.
They look like from outer space, Lamo, or the wonky ones.
And this, we just decided that the logistics of using it might be more complicated because you can only fill it so far before the tipping point would be reached. So
this just seemed appropriate, but then we'd have to fight over who had the glass. So
there was no fight. I said, you can have that one. Give me a different one.
So we got the standard, which is the Glencairn for Brian, because the Glencairn really, I think, regardless of what you're drinking, is
it's the perfect glass.
The perfect glass.
Except if you're drinking water, because it doesn't hold enough.
Because of the tulip shape, you really get the most of the aroma, the most of the nuances, and I could wax poetic about Glencairns, but I won't.
So on the color, like she said, it's kind of that interference paint thing.
Yeah, it's got like...
There's green tints to it.
Green, orange, yellow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I would show you on camera, but I don't think I could catch it.
You can capture, like,
quite
if
right.
you shoot up.
All right, I'm going to try it.
To see...
I'm going to try it. Yeah, as I move across it, you can kind of sort of see like a greenish tint a little bit to it. It's hard to see. The camera probably isn't getting it very well. But yeah, there's the color. And that's what we see when we're looking at it, rather than what you see, because you're over there and we're over here.
We're over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vastly different situation.
It's pretty.
Yeah. It's actually a nice color, even though it's not the green that it once was. It was this bright, iridescent green, if you don't remember that. It was kind of wild. Now it looks like bourbon. It really does.
Smell it, though. It smells...
Ooh, it smells a little grassy.
It smells a little off.
It smells grassy. I don't remember that. That could be the Kiwi and Apricot, though.
It could be. And it could be that they were great roommates when we first put them together, but after a year...
They didn't seem to get along.
They got tired.
Changed the colors.
They may have had to fight.
Yeah. Now, this is 11% ABV and 1.050 final gravity. So we sweetened the heck out of this one.
All right, I got deeper
I'm wondering
in there.
if those grassy notes are why.
And if I can get past
I get apricot.
The grass, I can smell the apricot.
Yeah. I think the grass is part of the apricot. Yeah. It's almost like an unripe apricot smell.
What happened? What happened to our delightful beverage?
Not everything needs to age for a year.
Yeah, I'm thinking this one.
We should have drank this when it was still green. Literally green.
Literally.
You ready for let's go in.
No.
Tastes lovely. It doesn't taste as sweet as 1.050 would suggest. Because there's a lot of tartness in the kiwi and apricot. That's why I remember we added so much sugar to overcome that. But that tartness makes for a wonderful mouthfeel.
You can feel the sweetness of the honey more than you can taste the honey.
This makes you salivate. Makes my mouth salivate.
I am enjoying the flavor immensely more than I am enjoying the aroma. Let me see if the aroma makes sense now.
I was just going to say, but now the smell makes more sense.
Yeah, I'm getting more of the apricot on the aroma now that I've drank it.
That is a funny thing that happens. If you smell it first, sometimes the smell and the taste are discordant to each other. And then sometimes they match. And sometimes after you take a sip, the smell makes sense again. That's really interesting. This has some staying power. Nice viscosity in the mouth. Yeah.
I'm getting more honey notes up front now. Before I was just getting the sensation of honey. Now I'm getting the flavor of honey. I'm still getting the Jolly Rancher sensation. I think it's because of the sweetness with the
sweet and
weird fruit thing.
Well, sweet and tart. It's that little acid kick that
yeah.
you're getting. It's making this like tangy.
Yeah.
I like it. As I recall, this is the last bottle we have of this.
Somebody may have drank it all.
I haven't seen them in a while though, so I'm thinking they all went away a while ago. Mm-hmm. But I drank the heck out of this one. I enjoyed it. That's why I kind of knew going in that we're going to like it. I don't remember the smell though. The smell might be new.
Smell seems to be new.
By the way, if anyone is asking about oxidation, if you're curious, I believe it might have a little, but there's no off flavors from it. So if it did, it's not enough to do much other than change the color. But the color changed after about 3 months.
Now I want to check something because I had a remembrance of something.
Okay. While you do your remembrance, I'll refill the glasses. If you're curious why there's a bandage on my hand, wear gloves. Had a bad experience. I just ripped the patch of skin off my palm. It's okay.
All right. So I recalled from the ridiculous pineapple mead that we... Oh, God. We had a huge...
It was
big vessel.
It was in a Wild Turkey 101 1.75 handle bottle.
It was the squarish one. We've had multiple things anyway, and we drink it, and it's just like this little
that one
layer on the bottom. Well, that oxidized.
Yeah, that
shocker.
was totally oxidized.
And I remember not only did it turn brown, but it also turned cloudy.
Yeah.
This is not cloudy.
No, this is
crystal clear. So I looked it up. Does oxidizing wine make it turn cloudy? And turns out, yeah. Severe or long-term oxidation can make wine appear cloudy or hazy, often accompanied by a brownish color range, browning, and unpleasant sour or nutty aromas. Now,
we're not getting
sour or nutty. We're getting grassy.
Little grassy. I think it's the apricot, though.
I think it's the Aprikiwi combo because the combination of those two fruits are kind of making my brain hurt.
Yeah, that's why we did it. We like making people's brain hurt.
So I don't feel like this is oxidized.
Okay, that's fair. Like I said, if it is, it's very slightly oxidized and only enough to affect that one pigment that made it green. But like I said, it started changing almost immediately.
I think the alcohol probably changed the color more than the oxygen did. Now I'm just putting this out there because we feel like the dried kiwi may have been artificially enhanced, but we didn't read anything that
I think they radiated it. It was glowing.
It's nuclear. But the flavor has no indication of oxidation.
No, the flavor is wonderful. It's sweet without being overly so. It's tangy because there's so much acid in this. And there's just enough of a tannic aspect to give you that.
Sour would not be the word.
No.
Tart would be the word.
Tangy.
But it's definitely that fruit, that fresh, juicy fruit situation, which is lovely.
It tastes like dried apricots.
Wow. This is kind of nuts.
It's actually nice. I like it. But we're getting to the point where we need to put a score on this.
Numbers.
So on your screen, you should be seeing our scorecard, which goes from 1 through 11, because that's right, ours goes to 11. But what you don't see is the 0, reserved for those things that just absolutely suck. I have a prediction. This is neither a 0 nor an 11, and it's probably not a 1. It's a pretty safe prediction.
It is a safe prediction.
Do you have a number yet?
So we're basing this on our experience in Aprikiwi.
I am forgetting what it's made of and saying, how good do I like it?
How good do I like it?
Because I'm not a super huge fan of kiwis. They're okay. But I mean, they're fine. So if I judge it off of how well do I like kiwi, I'm not going to go as high. Whereas if I judge it for what is this?
What is it?
If I stripped the label off and I didn't know what it was, how would I judge this? That's a good question. All right, I have a number. Do you have a number?
I am so conflicted. The glass cage of emotion.
1, 2, 3, 8.
9. Yeah.
You gave it a 9?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm.
And you didn't do it with me. That was weird.
Yeah.
It was awkward. I was like all alone.
You were all alone.
She left me hanging in the wind.
I did. That's because I was trapped in my glass cage of emotion.
She was waiting to see what I gave it.
No, I wasn't really paying attention to you. Sorry.
Wow. Trying to make a video here.
I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted about this beverage. I like it and I don't like it. Okay. And
here's the wonderful thing: you never have to drink it again.
But I will. No, I will.
I'm gonna.
It's gonna go on the partial table. We now have a partial table because we would put them in the mini fridge and then they'd be forgotten to time.
Yeah.
So if I put them on the partial table, then when any of us in the house like, oh, what should we drink? Yeah. Here's your selection of partials.
We usually do that with Dad.
Drink those now.
Yeah.
First. Don't open a new thing. Drink these. But I'm enjoying the sweetness. I'm enjoying the fruitiness. I'm enjoying that combination and not really knowing what it is and being confused. But I'm not enjoying the aroma.
Yeah, the smell is a little less. That's partially why I'm in.
I really enjoy aromas. Yep. So I think that
could also be why I liked this as much as I did, because I think I just put it in a mug with ice.
And you just drink it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it too hard. I just enjoyed it for what it was. And I think that may be why my memories of it are more fond than what we're having today. Because I didn't over obsess about it. I'm not saying we're over obsessing, but this is a tasting channel. The idea is to over obsess about it and analyze the crap out of it.
Yeah.
If we don't do that, is it a tasting channel or is it just a drinking show? There's a little bit of a difference there. In this case, though, I like this. I mean, I gave it an 8. That is a step above. That's a notch above my concept of great. So to me, this is a great on the way to being exceptional mead.
I gave it a 9.
Yeah, you went way higher than I thought you were going to go.
I can really only knock it from the aroma, honestly. Mm-hmm. The flavor was quite lovely.
Yeah, really nice. What would we do differently if we were to do this again? This is something that people have asked us to talk about.
Okay.
And I think that's a good idea.
I don't think I'd want to oak it. I don't think oaking would bring to the table. Did we oak this? I don't think so.
That was the last one that we tasted.
You're asking me what would we do different. So I'm going through the line of things that you would do to a brew that I...
Okay.
I wouldn't oak it.
All right. I wouldn't oak it either. I don't think we oaked it, but I still wouldn't oak this again.
Are you confused by my comment?
A little bit.
Okay.
I said, what would we do differently?
If we do different, we could oak it.
Oh.
I don't want to do that.
Okay. Okay. Now I understand. This is the way our conversations go.
Yeah.
Pretty often.
All the time. I don't think I'd want to add a different fruit. These fruits are a weird combo.
It is a weird combo, but it works.
Yeah.
In a weird way, it works. I think it's kind of muted and dark. I'd want something else to brighten it up. It has a tanginess, but it needs an acidic brightness. So maybe like lemon peel or orange peel. But not the juice, just like zest, just a little bit. And I think lemon for the brightness level would do it. Just a little bit.
I don't even know if I'd want to do that. I might go the chemical route and do an acid blend addition because I don't want...
You don't want the citrus flavor
to pledge
introduce.
Situation.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Being so sweet, it might come out pledge-like.
For those of you unfamiliar with what I'm talking about with Pledge, that is a brand of furniture polish.
Yeah, cleaner.
It is often lemon scented.
Yeah. Is that the one with the ball guy in the earring?
That's Mr. Clean.
Oh, okay. Different thing. I don't know that I would want this less sweet.
I don't think I want it spiced.
No.
I would like it to still be green.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
People have suggested using food coloring, so sure, you can do that if you want to. We don't, because to me, that's just like cheating. Yeah. I mean, you can totally do it, and I wouldn't hold it against you if you did. But for us on a show like this, if I added food coloring to this, you'd be like, oh, you cheated.
But even if you added food coloring
it's not going to turn green. It's going to be a darker shade of brown. That's all it's going to do.
I don't think that's going to be good. I think that's going to be bad.
It won't even be a darker. It'll be a murkier shade of brown.
Nope.
It'll look more like mud.
Nope.
Turning into something else.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
So there's not a lot that I would do to improve it.
I don't I don't know what I'd do to it. Maybe, and this is just crazy, maybe I would carb keg it.
You could try. You could keg carb. Yeah.
I said it wrong.
Yeah, that's all right.
It is my way.
They knew what you meant. So did I.
I would want it carbonated, but I wouldn't want it to retain as it is, so I would do it in a keg, a forced carbonation rather than a natural carbonation.
Okay. I mean, I guess that's a way to go. I don't know that I don't go for carbonated beverages a lot of time though. So that's just.
I'm just thinking a sparkly might be fun in this particular thing.
In that case, we could probably make it a little bit less sweet because the carbonation can affect it. That is a thing, by the way. Carbonation is a flavor component. It actually does change the recipe. You can't just automatically carbonate anything and make it taste.
But it also has the carbonic acid.
Yeah, it's a conundrum, man.
So your brain tends to think that if it's carbonated, it must be sweet because you associate those things.
Well, sort of, yeah.
But
it's separating the molecules and other things too.
There's a lot going on.
But because I want that little bit more acid bite, the carbonation might actually provide and give this sense of sweet. Hey, yeah, that could work. That could work. All right.
That's the only thing I could think of.
If you have ideas on how we could have made this better and still be an Aprikiwi Mead, let us know in the comments below. We always try to get to them as soon as we possibly can. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching and have a great day.
Bye-bye.